We are taking off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ryan Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ryan Show. My guest for this morning is Trust Jarell podcast. How are you doing today, Jarell?
Man, I'm doing really, really good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, man. You're the second person who has ever done a podcast with me, so I'm more than grateful and humble for you to join me for this time and today.
I do appreciate that. Thank you so much for the offer, man. And this will be really, really, really exciting.
You're very welcome. Now, you say you're a life coach, right? Or you teach people how to do like life in a better way, in a positive way?
Yeah, I am a certified professional life coach. And what my job basically consists of is being a guide. I believe in allowing every individual that's interested in my services to speak with me or to work with me to help me envision the life that they want and that they deserve for themselves. So as a life coach, my job is not to tell them what they should do and how they should live their life, but it's more of listening to them and giving them valuable points to achieve that life that they want of greatness.
Now, what are some questions do they ask you about your job or about what you do as a living?
Well, as a living, a lot of people, one of the questions they ask me, well, am I the same thing as a counselor or a therapist? And I have to tell them that no, I'm totally different. Counselors and therapists, they are able to kind of tell you what to do or prescribe you certain things or and things like that. But that's not, as a coach, that's not what I do. My job is to, once again, is to be a guide and to hold you accountable and to hold your hand through the process and to keep you afloat to live the life that you want to live.
So you're more of as a motivator than as a person who's there to help them out.
Yeah, you can say motivate, you can say inspire, to inspire, and definitely there. I love to say I'm there to hold you accountable. Like if you say that this is what I want, this is the life that I desire, this is what I need for myself. I'm not going to let you fall below that. But I also equip a lot of clients with great things to remove mental blocks. A lot of digging up hurt and pain from the past. As a coach, it's about staying in the future and not drifting so much in the past, but how can we use the past to help us in the future to get the life that we want for ourselves?
Now, what is the age limit between, like, do you work from the people between like teenagers to adults, or like what is the age limit?
Now, the age limit that I work with, I started out with when I first started coaching, I said, well, I'm just going to accept anyone. But then I believed I started realizing that my ideal client is someone that I envision, which is the same as me. So I remember when I started going through the transition of lifestyles, like with myself and understanding who I was. So now I coach between the ages of 25 and up.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, do you charge them or how does it work?
Okay, well, with life coaching, once again, this is what I do full time. So anything that I do full time has to pay the bills. So as being certified, yes, I do charge for my services, and I offer hourly sessions. I offer bundles and packages. I also do workshops where I work with numerous of different people, and everything is charged by a price. But when you are thinking about bettering your life and bettering yourself, a price should never be an option. Like if it's something that's going to help you, invest in self. That's something that I tell a lot of clients. You want to invest back into yourself, and it's really, really worth it.
That's true. That's true. Now I was looking up online of life lessons and just things in general about what you people do as in a profession, and they have a list like 50 reasons, that you shouldn't let life control you. And for number one, it says that life is amazing and that they said your children are not you or money isn't worth it,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And I was wondering, do you follow by guideline that you make, or is it just like you pick and, you pick and point, the one thing you want to work with that person about?
Great question. With that, with life coaching, I never go into a session with this is what we're going to talk about, because when you're dealing with a client, you never know what they may want to talk about in that particular session. So it's up to them to begin, and I just follow up and I follow their lead. But there was a quote that you said that with a lot of people or parents, the children are not their parents, something around that nature.
Hmm.
Um, that's something that I've encountered with a lot of clients. As children, we grow up, and I actually just spoke about this on my segment this morning.
Wow.
We grow up, and our parents try to instill in us who they think that we are based off of their circumstances. But as we begin to go through the teenager stages and we learn to find more about ourselves, we realize that we are not our parents, that we're different, we desire different things, we like different things. And when individuals are trying to break out of that, there comes a point where I love to coach this in sessions where kids are afraid to disappoint their parents. So they live their lives based off of the approval of their parents rather than living within themselves.
Hmm. That's another thing I want to tell you about of what you say. How their parents of children want them to live their lives according to how they live theirs, and that's
Mhm.
the thing. Everyone's different. Everyone's different. You could be a good kid raised in a bad environment, you turn out great. You could be a bad kid, born in a great environment, you turn out horrible. And I feel like sometimes as if parents force their children to do something that they want to do, but as
Mhm.
what you said before, that they don't want to lose their trust or the approval of their parents. It's
Most
very
definitely.
difficult because people are different. Everybody's different.
Mhm.
And it was a health teacher of mine that said if everyone were the same, then we wouldn't know who we are as a human being and as a person. And that if we were all the same, if one of us catches a virus, we would all die because we're the same person and no one is
Exactly.
different.
Most definitely. Yeah. And so many parents, I get the whole thing of parents wanting to protect their kids from going down the same roads that they went through or went down. But with that, we must understand that everybody has to learn certain lessons in their own way. So you may try to prevent a child from
Hmm.
going down a specific road, but the lesson that you may have learned from it may be a total different what that child may learn. But any way that you can help uh, to keep someone on a right path is always positive and always helpful. But sometimes we have to allow people to live, and that's not up to us how we determine how they live.
Now, in your profession, is there a variety of you guys, or like you guys working on one building, or how does it work?
Well, with life coaching, with me, I'm self-employed, so I strictly work. I work from my home, and then as living here in Little Rock, Arkansas, if there are clients that are interested in working with me, we travel or we meet at a public place that makes the client feel comfortable.
Of
But
course,
with
of
a lot
course.
of different Yeah, but with a lot of different life coaches, it just depends on if you work for a business. A lot of life coaches are in business for themselves, and it's a great lane to go into because now we're realizing that people self help is something that's very very important. Um, and you go on all of these social media sites and you see a lot of life coaches now because people are wanting help. They're wanting someone to listen to them. They are needing guidance. And especially with our youth today,
Hmm.
um, I'm not even sure if there are guidance counselors still in schools and things like that, but the world is hurting. And that's where life coaches come in at. We come in as being, once again, being that guide to help and to lead the way to help people to actually live that life that people say that they can't live.
Hmm.
It's very, very, I say that there's endless possibilities. There is no way that you could be here or born on this earth to just work, pay bills, and die. This world is full of endless possibilities, and you can have anything that you want.
I agree to you with that, man. And back to what you were saying, how the youth or the people that are born in this generation, it's going down the drain. There's no
Mhm.
back. They have lack of responsibilities because well as I do, everything that they ask is literally right in their fingertips. It's right in their hand. You don't have
Mhm.
to work for. They work of course, but they don't work as hard as our parents did or the parents before them. And my dad worked his whole life. He still works to this day. My dad's 51. He works in construction, and he keeps telling me, how our generation we're so blessed because we don't have to worry about anything. We don't have to struggle as much because they're all on our fingertips. Social media is a big benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends, your family members, everything around here is so beneficial to both sides, children and adults. But as for us, this is the modern era of technology. We're in advance because, we have social media such as Snapchat, Facebook, Kick, Instagram, Twitter. We have all these sources that help us out, benefit us. As for them, they didn't have this.
Exactly.
And the thing else I like to say is that so life lesson coaches, just people, as you say, you hold their hand, show, okay, this is the route you want to take. Well, I'm here to help you out. But are you guys in the same as motivational speakers, or you guys are two different people?
Well, with life coaches, I always use myself as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also motivational speak. I do it usually when I'm on Periscope
Mm-hmm.
or on my Facebook Live. That's what I'm doing. Anytime you are giving encouraging words to empower people to press forward and to go towards the highest part of themselves, anytime you're speaking in that manner, that's what you're doing. You're motivationally speaking to people. And I do it all the time. I do it 7 days a week. I'm really big on empowering people. Um, you don't hear it a lot and you don't hear it enough. But when you're speaking something really good and you believe what you're doing, that's what draws in the clients. When your message is really, really good and you deliver good. And when what you're talking about is real and authentic, a lot of people they just get on camera and they just say things that sound really, really nice. But when you've actually lived what you're speaking, people can relate to you, and that's what brings in the clients. That's
Of
what brings
course.
in, hey, I heard what you were talking about, and I'm actually going through that, and I really wanted to know how you got through that, or I wanna be a better person. What do you think I should do? And that's the perfect opportunity to say, hey, let's work together. Let's get together and help you build that life that you want to have envisioned for yourself. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. I applaud you for what you're doing, man. You're doing a fantastic job, and you're an
Oh, I
amazing
appreciate it.
person. And for me, I grew up, bullied, beaten up, defined by the color of my skin because I have vitiligo, and people with vitiligo, they look differently, they look different upon by, society and people in general. But I feel as if, everyone's the same, as a person. Of course, we're all different because, we all come from different backgrounds, different stories, different, everything. But for me, I feel as if, like you said, this world is corrupted, this world's falling apart because, as you can see, racism is very strong in this era, in this generation, as you can see. And people said back then that racism died, but it hasn't. It's just getting bigger and bigger as we, fight against each other and lean on towards the negativity instead of the positivity.
Hmm.
And I want to agree with you, man. I agree that, we should all stick together and band as one, be united, stand against,
Yeah.
the law or the man to say, hey, you may think of us as, people killing each other, but, we're staying together as one, we're staying together as a family. And, that's what people should really do, stand together because everything now around you is just violence. Everything around you is just violence. It makes no sense. Blacks against black, blacks against white, blacks against Hispanics. Everybody's just trying to prove who's the alpha male, but really, we're just making everyone else laugh. We're just really hurting ourselves. We're not here to say, oh, let me help you out with this or with that. And I feel as if you're doing a great job because you're guiding them. You're saying, hey, you don't want to live this life because this life is not to give you what you're looking for. It's not going to
And
help
it
you or benefit you. So I applaud you for
was,
what you're doing, man. It's very inspiring, very inspirational.
yeah, and I think with a lot of people, what we're realizing now is a lot of people are operating or have been operating out of fear, fear of being who they truly are, and fear of actually doing what's right. And in so many years, a lot of us, or a lot of people, have been raised to only be one way, to think one way, to live one way, to love one way, to accept one way. But what we're realizing and coming across now is people are breaking out of traditions and people are breaking out of the norm, and people are wanting to experience new things. And when you are someone and you're not bound by tradition and you're wanting to just be yourself and live your life, those people who still live in traditions, they have a problem with that. So that is where the hatred comes in. That's where the fear of not understanding or not knowing, that's where all of that comes in. And once the world begins to live in their authentic self, just being them, being honest, being open, and being real. Once we get to that place, man, this world will really begin to heal its place. That's all we need is just more love and people just being more open and honest with themselves.
Amen to that, man. I hear you. Now, I forgot I was gonna actually ask you. Give me a moment.
Well, no problem.
So have you had like difficult clients that you have worked with before, or is it all just mental, in a sense? Like you have to be very precise of what you're saying in your words, or is it just that you want to make your client feel as comfortable as possible, and then get down to details?
I have not had a difficult client because with every client that I go into a session with, my mind is always open, and I do believe in praying.
Hmm.
So I always pray that the client that is equally mentally, spiritually designed for me, that they will find their ways to me or find themselves to me. So the clients that I've dealt with have not been difficult at all. I think the greatest part that I love is seeing them from the beginning, from session one all the way until their last session with me, and to just see the transformation of how they once used to think of themselves to how they think now. I had one client that just blew me totally away. Um, Lived a life of fear and comfort zones, and family traditions and things that family members told her that she couldn't do, and she believed that within herself for so long. And just to work with her and to see her change the way that she thought about herself, and now she's doing amazing. She is living her greatest life, and I'm really, really proud. So I feel like there are no such thing as difficult clients. There are just people of different backgrounds and different walks of life.
Okay.
Sometimes it may take a little bit more work to get them to see that they are worthy and that they are deserving. But that's our job as a coach. It's not our job to give up on people, because you have to realize so many people have been given up on their whole entire life, and they're looking for help. So they don't want you to run from them. They want you to embrace them and to keep pushing them towards their greatness.
Now, what are key steps in order for one person to become a life coach?
A couple of key steps I would say is accept the calling. If you are if you're not really sure what it is that you want to do or where you're wanting to do, but you want to help people, you want to be of guidance, do your praying, do your journaling, start asking the questions like, you know, I like to call them the why questions. Why do I have this calling? Why do I feel like this is what I need to be doing? And then once you answer the why questions, you can then go to the what, your what questions. But answer the calling would be the first thing. And then the second thing that I would say is to do more researching on life coaches. Actually understand and know what it is that we do, and see if it fits well with you and it resonates with you. I say go for it. There are a lot of places that do certifications online, and there are also institutions that actually do 3-day seminars where you can actually get certified as a coach within 3 days. And there are other institutions that you can get certified like a couple of months. You have to go through more extensive training, but it's all in what you want to do. And like I say, a lot of people are life coaches, but they're not certified. You don't necessarily have to have the certification, but you just have to be great at what you do, and you have to keep striving every single day.
That's awesome, man. That's fantastic. Now, is this something that you always wanted to do at a young age, or what was your real dream goal?
Well, as a child, I wanted to become a veterinarian. So I went to college and everything. I have my bachelor's degree in animal science. But as once I graduated, I didn't do anything with it. I just didn't feel the calling for it anymore. I didn't feel the push towards it. And so years and years went by, and I went through this phase in my life where I talked about this in one of my segments. I was waking up. I hated going to work. I was working in someone else's dream, and I wasn't happy. I was only working a job because I needed to pay bills and I needed to eat and I needed to live. And I realized that either this job is going to be the death of me, or I'm going to actually start doing what it is that I want to do. And I got to thinking, got to praying, got to journaling, and started reading. And I realized that I've always been great at helping people and giving great advice. I said, but how can I form this into a career? And the light bulb went off, and it was like life coaching, mentoring, and touring the world. Like, this is what you were born to do. So I walked into that, and I accepted that. And I walked away from my full-time job September 1st of 2017. That was a huge step for me. I left everything, my salary, my bonus, my 401k plan, my benefits. I gave it all up to live a life that I've been destined to live. So it's about answering the call again and following your dreams.
Wow, man, that's terrific, man. That's fantastic. For me, my life journey, I just want to be a person who leaves smiles on people's faces, because people say I should be in entertainment business, Hollywood or comedian and stuff like that. But I want to do podcasting as a career and as a profession because I enjoy talking. And talking and communication are key values into life because without communication, there's no way you could go anywhere because talking is a priority and it's a must do because you must talk in order to find out answers and ways or how to get from one place to the next,
Exactly.
And I just want to be the guy who is remembered as the guy who lets smile on people's faces, the guy who said, hey, he has such an amazing message or he was such a positive person or he told me to do the right way instead of the wrong way, such as yourself, not technically a life coach, but just as a guy who, left people happy, just left everybody happy as much as he could,
Yeah, and even with that, be sure to go back and listen to my, I don't know if you listened to it or not, but my segment where I was talking about affirmations. I noticed that you said that I want to be the guy who leaves a smile on people's faces. I want to be the guy. And that's one thing that I specialize in coaching is that affirmation. We've got to stop saying what we want to do and start affirming it. So that's what I would offer you as a freebie. Don't say what you want to be, affirm it. I am the guy who leaves smiles on other people's face. I am the guy who helps people to have or live a best life. You have to start speaking those things. Or you said you want to do podcasting. I am a podcaster. I own my own podcast station. When you begin to start saying those I am statements and you begin to start believing, then things will begin to manifest and work for you in your life.
Okay. Hey, that's awesome. You're already teaching me already, man. Your work never stops for you, man.
It never, most definitely.
So, do you travel or do you still stay in the state of Arkansas?
As of right now, I haven't had the privilege of traveling, but I am traveling in 2018. I will be touring the world as a life coach. So
Oh, that's
I say
awesome,
that,
man.
yeah, I say that every single morning that I wake up and I affirm it. And the phone calls will come. The people that want to hear my message, it will come. I speak them every day and I believe them to be true. So we're already in day 9 of the new year. So I'm geared up. I am geared up to see what this life or what this year has in store for me as a life coach.
That's fantastic, man. Now, have you worked with other people or as you said before, you work by yourself, like another life coach in sense, or you just work by yourself with your clients?
As of right now, I've since I've been coaching, I've worked by myself. Now I have been on Facebook Live. I have a couple of friends who have had small little Facebook Live segments, and they've asked me to come in as a life coach to give information or some good tips. So I've kind of worked with other people, but as far as working side by side with other life coaches, I haven't had the privilege of doing it, but I am excited about doing it because I know this year it's going to happen. I will actually be doing a segment with the amazing Shak Rwanda here on Anchor.fm.
Wow.
We're going to bring you guys something really, really good on next week. It's going to be very, very, very exciting, and I can't wait for you all to hear it.
Well, that's fantastic, man. For me, I just want, as I said before, to leave stuff informative for people, so they get the clear message and, just a statement and the positivity to say, hey, be proud of who you are, be grateful to God that you are who you are, and don't let no one change you or anybody tell you that you can't do it or be any better because you can,
Exactly.
Because words are words and they're not going to hurt you. And I believe that people, like you said, when people are growing up, they go through different experiences, of course, they go through different lives than as ourselves. And I feel as if, like you said, instead of, crucially or harshly, forcing them to be who you want them to be in your eyes, you should help them out of what they want to be,
Most
because, as nowadays bullying is very strong as well. Social bullying, cyberbullying, bullying in general.
Hmm.
And I believe that more teachers should be more lenient and more persistent of helping kids who are being bullied. I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying, more as in terms, of being as like as a coach or as a mentor, say, hey, instead of you guys fighting, you guys should, just talk it out, know each other, and just be friends.
Exactly. I agree with that. And that's one thing that I noticed, growing up, I was never bullied in school, but I just kind of knew what territory to tread on. So I always kind of semi-played it safe in high school,
Hmm.
but I could always remember the bullies in school. And, even now to just see a lot of them on social media and on Facebook, you see them and you just look at them and you're like, man, in high school, you were like this big shot and you had all of this going on and you see the lives that they're living now. And it just goes to show you that you have to be very, very careful the way that you treat people. You got to be careful the way that you talk to people and the things that you do to them, because life has a way of turning around. And I see a lot of people now and they are not in the best places, but, I just continue to pray for them. But it's just a reminder that you got to do right by people. You have to treat people with respect, man. You got to love people. And bullying it's not cool. It may seem funny when it's going on, but once you begin to get older and you see those people that you hurt and you see them actually being successful, you see them living, and you look at yourself, and it's an eye opener.
That
It
is
is an
true. It is true. Because that's what you say, when someone else gets bullies, it may be funny to you, but you won't laugh if it happens to you. You know what I mean? It's like you're laughing now because it's not you. But when it's you, your mouth is zipped and you're like, oh, now I need to go to the ride, now I need to experience it.
Yes, it brings that awareness, like, wow, what I was doing to someone else, it's now happening to me. And you realize it's not cool.
And
And
you're correct about what you said, that it is an eye opener because as you just stated right now, people who were the bullies, like you said, they're the hot shots, they're all the girls, they were the cool kids in the school. Now they're working at McDonald's or as a janitor and stuff. And you see people who are bullied, they're, like you said, they're successful. They have their own companies or they're in the military or they're married, they have great jobs. They have, things in life that you need and they have it because, of the life they chose and the route they chose of being, more of a school kid, that has education than being the popular kid and trying, to make everything or everyone know about them.
most definitely, I agree.
And life is a journey, man. Life is not perfect. Life isn't easy because if life were easy, as you said so yourself, and it says, every day, then you wouldn't learn a thing because if life were handed to you, then, you won't have to work for anything. You won't have to struggle. You won't have to learn the difficulties and the stuff you have to be going through in order to get to that goal or to that mission in your life.
Yeah, I tell one of my favorite sayings is, and I'm actually getting this one designed as one of my favorite quotes, but it's life is a buffet, and you get to pick up your plate and you get to choose what you want to put on it, and anything that you don't want, you don't have to pick up. And that's something that I love about life. Life has a lot of options, but you always get to make a choice. And that's one thing I love teaching my clients. It's about accountability and owning, your decisions. You get to make a choice with everything that you do. And if you feel like something is going to be great for you and it's a good investment, and it's going to boost you in a positive and more motivating direction, then you pick that up and you put that on your plate called life. But if you know that there's a group of people or situations or decisions that are only going to dig you deeper in a hole, you also get to choose if you want to put that on your plate and deal with that, or if you get to leave it. So as you said, life is full of adventure. Life will teach you a lot of things. Life is either designed to make you or to break you. But if you happen to pick up something in life that is not good for you, just know, as a life coach or as many life coaches, that one thing that you picked up that may not have been good for you, it doesn't have to determine the rest of your life. We can work on getting that thing off their plate and getting you right back on track.
As you said, that life either makes you or break you. There's sayings and movies that, I don't know if you ever seen Rocky before and stuff like that with Sylvester Stallone. There was a scene
Uh-huh.
on Rocky 5 where he said, like you said, life may make you or break you, but if you let life break you, it'll pin you down forever on the ground and leave you paralyzed until you get
This is
back
true.
up and kick life in the face. Say, hey, I'm here and I'm proud and I'm gonna show you in life that this is me, and there's nothing stopping, not you or anybody, you know. And
Most
it's
definitely.
it's
Yes.
it's to that sense where it's true, you know. If you let life control you and take you on its ride, then life doesn't care about you. You know, life could just do what it wants because as you said, you're not motivated, you're not destined or determined to live the life that you want. You'd rather put your hands in life than
Mhm.
doing it for yourself. And life can break you. Life can give you such amazing things, and then all just in a snap, it could take that all away. You have nothing.
Yeah, it's all. I love to say, when life gives you something really, really bad, or life gives you something great, I always ask the question, what's next? What's next? Okay, you threw this at me and I tackled it. I got over it. It may have hurt me a little bit. It may have pushed me in a better direction, but what else do you have? Is that the best that you have? And know that you're strong. Know that you're equipped with everything that you need to conquer life, and to know that you will be just fine in everything that you do.
hmm I can see that, man. You're awesome, man. I just want to let you know that you're an awesome person, and I applaud for what you're doing, and helping people out in general, and coaching them and holding their hand to life's choices or their life choices as a human being as well. You're doing a fantastic job.
I
And
truly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
and I found you on this app, because I forgot who I was listening to, but you're on their station as well. And you were telling people, oh hey, don't let life bring you down, or don't let people around you bring you down. He's like, even if they're your family or close friends or people you never met, you said, along the lines that, don't let them bring you down. If you let them bring you down, then you're not living life. And you must live life in order to expect high expectations of yourself and motivate others. And I, for one, was applauding that. I'm like, wow, this guy is speaking from the heart. He's speaking because, he may not live through that life, but he knows people that he loved and cared for did go through that life. And once I heard your station, I applauded and I feared it because it's true. It's true to what you
Yeah.
say, that life is a journey. And sure, there may be times in life it slaps you in the face or it gives you gifts, but you need to buckle up and, go through it, go through that storm and see what's on the other
Yeah,
side. And so
I
that's
agree.
what,
Yeah.
so that's why I
There's so
applaud you
many.
for what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's one of those things because, when you love, so a lot of us, we love hard. So if we're loving family members, or we're loving a spouse, or we're loving friends, you never want to walk away and leave people behind. If we could all have our prayers answered, if we all became successful, we would want to take everyone with us. But life will teach you that everybody can't fit through the doorway of possibilities with you. Every family member can't go with you. Every loved one can't go with you. Every friend can't go with you. Sometimes you have a three-seater bus going towards higher expectations, and you're in one of those seats. And there's only two available spots left, so you can't bring anyone. So you're gonna have to make a choice and a decision in life to bring the people who not only want the best for you, but who also have a plan designed to be greater for themselves. So many times we don't want to walk away from people uh, who are not on the same plane that we're on. But as a coach, that's why I tell people it's okay. It's not about leaving people behind. It's just about creating new memories and new experiences. And that's all it's about, man.
This is what a friend of mine said. He said this, like, don't say goodbye because goodbye means forever. Just say see you later.
See you later, most definitely. I'll catch you on the next one. And sometimes you have to walk away from people in order for them to learn the lessons for themselves. We are crutches for a lot of people, and a lot of us, we enable bad behavior not really knowing that we do it. And sometimes it takes us removing ourselves out of someone's life in order for them to get the bigger picture, to get the help that they need to actually begin to do the work on themselves. And once they begin to do the work on themselves, man, that friendship or that bond or that love, whatever it is, it becomes stronger. Because I always say, if someone is meant to be in your life, they will be there. And if you all stray apart or fall away, if that love is strong enough, you will eventually find your way back. But you've got to have that mindset that nothing or anyone will stop me from achieving my greatness. And if I have to lose family members, if I have to lose loved ones, and even if I have to lose friends, I'm willing to lose all of those things to have the life that is designed for me.
I can believe it, man. It's gonna be tough, but you have to do it in order to accomplish your goals.
Most definitely. Yes.
All right, man. I think I'm about to sign out, man. About eating some lunch.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity once again. And for everyone that's listening to the podcast, be sure to follow my website at trustjarell.com. And please favorite my station here on anchor.fm. And I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Oh, you're welcome, man. And for everyone that's also listening to my station, please favorite me as well. And please subscribe to my podcast on Apple and his as well, or his Android. I don't know, either or. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed day.